5 years. That's how long it took for Cody Ponce to get another shot in a Major League starting rotation, and it lasted barely 3 innings. What should have been a comeback story just turned into one of the most heartbreaking moments of the season, and it might have real consequences for a Blue Jays team built to win right now. Cody Ponce made his first MLB start since 2021 for the Toronto Blue Jays. 3rd inning, routine play. A slow bouncer between the mound and first base. Ponce charges, plants, and his right leg gives out. He collapses immediately, grabbing the back of his knee. Training staff rushes in. He can't continue. He's eventually helped onto a cart, visibly emotional, acknowledging the crowd as he exits. Before the injury, he threw 2 scoreless innings. But the play he got hurt on, it still resulted in a run scoring. Now the big question, how serious is it? This isn't just another injury. This is a comeback story hanging by a thread. Ponce hasn't been a regular in the majors since his rough 2021 season with Pittsburgh's 0.6 ERA north of 7. That's the kind of stat line that usually ends careers. But he didn't quit. He rebuilt himself overseas. 3 years grinding in Japan, then Korea in 2025. Quietly working, refining, waiting for another opportunity. And the Blue Jays gave it to him. This team isn't rebuilding. This is a contender. They just made aggressive moves, locking in Dylan Cease as a frontline arm, adding Tyler Rogers to stabilize the bullpen. Ponce wasn't supposed to be the star. He was depth. Insurance. A comeback lottery ticket. But here's the thing. Teams that go deep into October need guys like this. Unexpected contributors. Now, that depth just took a hit. And inside that clubhouse, this one stings. Because every player in that room knows how hard it is to fight your way back. Let's break down what this actually means, because it's bigger than just one injury. First, the mechanics of the play. This wasn't a high-impact collision. No awkward slide, no contact. This was a routine defensive movement, and that's what makes it concerning. When a leg buckles like that on a plant, especially with a pitcher, you immediately think about structural damage, knee, hamstring, maybe even ligament involvement. And the way he grabbed the back of his leg, that points toward hamstring or posterior knee issues. If it's a strain, maybe he's back in weeks. If it's something more severe, that could end his season and possibly his comeback window entirely. Now zoom out to the Blue Jays' strategy. This team invested heavily in top-end pitching. Dylan Cease is the anchor. Tyler Rogers locks down late innings. But every contender needs stability in the middle and back end of the rotation. That's where Ponce came in. He wasn't just filling innings, he was buying time, preserving the bullpen, keeping the rotation flexible. Without him, that pressure shifts immediately. Now you're asking other depth arms to step up, maybe rushing prospects, maybe stretching relievers longer than planned. That's how small injuries turn into bigger problems over a 62-game season. And here's the real risk. If this team starts overusing its bullpen early because the rotation lacks depth, it can quietly wear down one of their biggest strengths before October even arrives. So is this a disaster? Not yet, but it's a crack in the foundation, and contenders can't afford too many of those. Fans are going to be split but emotional. On one side, there's sympathy. This is a guy who fought for years just to get back on that mound. Seeing him leave in tears, that hits hard. On the other side, there's concern. Because Blue Jays fans aren't just watching a story, they're watching a championship window. And media analysts, they're already asking the tough questions. Is Toronto's rotation deep enough? Did they gamble too much on comeback arms instead of proven consistency? This moment shifts the conversation from feel-good story to roster vulnerability. It's a minor strain. Ponce misses a few weeks, rehabs, and comes back mid-season. He regains form, gives Toronto solid innings, and becomes one of those under-the-radar contributors every playoff team needs. Come October, he's part of the story, not a footnote. It's serious. Months or worse, season ending. The Blue Jays scramble to fill the gap. The bullpen gets stretched. Rotation inconsistency creeps in. And what looked like a deep, balanced pitching staff suddenly feels thin at the worst possible time. That's how contenders fall short. Not with one big collapse, but with small cracks that keep spreading. So now the question is, was Cody Ponce just unlucky, or is this a warning sign for a Blue Jays rotation that might not be as deep as it looks? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you want sharp, no-nonsense breakdowns on the biggest stories in sports, hit subscribe and stay locked in with SPORTSWIRE USA.